Hey, this is Robert DeLeo from Army of Anyone. I'm here with Dean and Richard and Ray. The first song on the record's called It Doesn't Seem to Matter. It's used with an open D tuning, which Dean and I like to use on certain songs sometimes. Get it a little different voicing.
Yeah, we used a lot of different tunings on this record, and It Doesn't Seem to Matter is D-A-D-G-A-D. For those of you who want to try to learn that one, it might make things easier for you. I don't know, my fondest memory of that track was, I think, for me, as the guitar player, it was, the solo. I got that together and laid the solo down, and Bob Ezrin says, why don't you double that an octave lower? And, it was a bit challenging. We got it together, and we also doubled the solo on Disappear as well, but that's not an octave apart. And It Doesn't Seem to Matter was one of those songs where Robert had the verses and the pre-choruses, and I had the chorus. We kind of combined the two and came up with that. I'm going to give you to Rich and let him tell you a little about where he was coming from.
It doesn't seem to matter. I think where I was coming from was just, how sometimes everything seems aimed at you, and no matter what you're doing, nothing seems to work.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Ray Luzier from Army of Anyone. I think it was interesting when we were recording this song, as a drummer's perspective, that a lot of times rhythm sections always tend to follow each other, and it was kind of nice the way Robert and I figured out our parts, and they're kind of apart from each other, but they fit so well, so I kind of like that part about it.
Hey, this is Robert, and wanted to talk a little bit about Goodbye. It's a song that was kind of the icing on the cake, so to speak, for the record. It was a song that was kind of needed. You kind of come to a point where all your songs are kind of complete. You might need something that kind of fits and tops the record off. Goodbye was that kind of song. We put that together in rehearsal one day. It was about 5 minutes getting it together, but it's kind of a lifetime of library parts and ideas that are in your head being a musician, and you just kind of pick and choose from the parts in your head. That's what we came up with.
Hey, this is Dean. I really got to hand it to Rich for Goodbye, because we kind of took an overview of the entire album, and Rich really felt strongly that the record was lacking a song with this type of tempo, and he was really in pre-production saying, guys, come on, we need to get this together. And like Robert said, man, that song literally came together in 5 minutes.
Hi, this is Richard. I walked into rehearsal that day and I looked at Robert DeLeo and I said, Robert, we need a song that is up-tempo. We need something that's a little bit more just faster. Everything seems to be at mid-tempo, which we love. And he goes, oh, yeah, you want something fast? And I said, yeah. And he just completely just threw out a bunch of parts, and him and Dean wrote the song in about 5 minutes, and it was absolutely fantastic, and it's our first single.
Hey, this is Ray talking about the song Goodbye. Coming from the studio experience I had with it, it was really great, and I agree with the guys as far as needing an up-tempo song in the mix, because I come from a very sort of a progressive background, and there's a drum vamp at the end that I'm really proud of on the record. It was one of those things in the studio where I was just kind of came to me, and I did it on the first take, and we tried to do it another 4 or 5 times, and what you hear on the record is actually the first take that ended up on there. Yeah, so quite proud of that.
This is Richard Patrick from Army of Anyone one more time. We're talking about the song A Better Place. This was the first song that we wrote together, and I had just finished the vocals, and Dean heard it, and I was really nervous because it was the first song, and Dean was listening to it, and he just looked at me and he goes, man, that's really beautiful. It's like a prayer, and I knew right then that things were going to work out well for us.
Yeah, this is Dean, and A Better Place, that was the one. That was the first song we put together, a beautiful piece Robert wrote, and again, mirroring everyone else's sentiments, that what Rich touched upon there lyrically was very fulfilling, melodically very fulfilling, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Hey, this is Ray. Yeah, I definitely agree with what the guys said. When I heard the demos for this first, it really struck me emotionally, and it's really had I knew I wanted to be in this band, and coming from a drummer's perspective, there's a loop that goes throughout the song that I play too, and I think it's just a great way to drive the song, and it's just got beautiful melodies.
Hey, this is Robert. I just wanted to talk about A Better Place. Really proud to know that was our first song as a band and as our writing experience together, because lyrically I think it really sums up where we all are and have been in our lives, and I'm very proud of that song.
Hi, this is Dean. We're talking about Stop, Look, and Listen, another gorgeous song written by Robert. When he first played that for me, I really was quite moved by that. I knew there was something special in there. That was a really nice time tracking that. I remember very specifically tracking that and being so in the moment and so connected with each one of my bandmates when we were tracking that. It was like the rest of the world was non-existent. It was just what was happening in that room at the moment. I think you might be able to hear that.
This is Richard Patrick from Army of Anyone. Stop, Look, and Listen is probably the lightest song on the record, and the key to singing it is actually a lot harder than it sounds, because you have to be as quiet as possible when you're singing something that light. And we used a big, huge, old Neumann microphone, and the key to that song is just being delicate and quiet, and it was a lot of fun to record.
Hey, this is Ray. I highly agree with Dean. We were definitely connected in the studio as far as on an emotional level. Yeah, there's actually a 1929 snare drum used on this. That's how old this goes back. And we used quite a plethora of different, really dark, old-sounding vintage cymbals, and quite proud of the way it came out sonically.
Hey, this is Robert. I'm talking about Stop, Look, and Listen. I just wanted to say, very rarely do I personally write a song where I feel I put myself in the space of a listener. Usually when you write something, it's just to get it out. I think when all of us can put ourselves in the position of a listener, you kind of achieve something that you really want to when writing music. And this is one of those songs that I feel really put me in that space. It's capoed up to an F sharp to accommodate Richard's vocal range.